Welcome in, everybody, to the 7th session of Mother's Jail. Tonight's session is titled Into the Pirate's Den, as the party will be arriving in the city of Mitra Scaleth. So last time, when we all got together a couple weeks ago, the party was journeying through the dying forest on their way to Mitra Scaleth, and they had come across something rather distressing. And that is a large number of bodies that were hanging from the various limbs of a tree, all of which had been skinned alive, and that was less than ideal. The party continued through the forest only to slowly come to the realization that they were being hunted, and there is indeed a floof that has returned. They found that they were being hunted by something they weren't entirely certain what, although one of the NPCs they were traveling with claimed to have gotten a look at it. While they made camp one night, a young girl covered in blood was discovered on the outskirts of camp and was highly traumatized. And during another watch, the party was all awakened by the sounds of squealing. And as they went out, they found a warthog that had been speared through the leg and was pinned to the ground. And as Braley attempted to help it, she was nearly caught in a trap. And they found out that this thing was indeed using this thing as bait to try to lure them out. As they returned to the camp, they all watched in horror as the young girl shed her skin and grew almost twice, 3 times her size into this large, dragonborn-esque monstrosity, which had 2 disgusting tendrils that were able to, how shall we say, inflate some of the other skin suits and made zombies to attack you all with. And combat broke out, during which anytime this thing gazed upon you and made eye contact with you, it was suddenly able to know things about you. And it gave us a couple of interesting revelations in calling Ayla Aliana Silverwind, and also in calling Nova Aruna. That's where we left off, as you had just defeated this thing and had reconvened with Felicia and,
Lysander?
Lysander,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, Lysander.
Yeah, Lysander.
Felicia and Lysander, yeah.
Yeah, and you were dealing with the remnants of that. You had eventually gotten to sleep and, or will rather be able to finish your watch, so we can pick it up basically where we left off, with you having just defeated this thing and kind of debating with one another. So take it away.
Well, that was unpleasant.
That's a word for it.
Braylee's gonna shake her hands because, like, his claws were in her paws. She's like,
Nova. Nova. Ayla.
Not the sort of thing that one encounters every day.
Yeah, I think Ayla probably pokes it again a couple of times just to make sure.
It is weird as you kind of like nudge your foot against it. Pressing your foot at, it's not like dragonborn flesh as you push it. Like normally, you think like kind of a rough scaled flesh over muscle and sinew. This feels more like if you pushed your finger against a bag of Jell-O.
Oh, I hate that.
Ayla steps back and like shakes her foot off and just looks generally disgusted.
There's some weird black ichor on your foot now that you have to shake off.
I think, was I at low HP? I don't remember. I don't have it on here. That's okay.
You're all about to get a long rest anyways.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't remember how injured.
Yeah, I
It's
think you
still-
got pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
It's still important for Layla.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I am alive, and that is, she's kind of trying to flick her rapier to get the blood and goo off. I am alive, and that is well enough for me.
Oh, Brayley's gonna go to Layla. Layla, if you look at my hands, did you leave anything
I
behind?
will. Oh dear, I believe you've chipped a nail.
I
Among other concerns.
I
I
do
just
not
feel so weird.
I do not think this is contagious, if that helps.
A little bit.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't worried about that before, but thanks for that.
I meant the good news. It is probably not contagious. Did you not hear the not?
Yeah,
would
but I
like
also
to
heard the probably.
Listen, I do not know what this is. Just
Yeah, as somebody who also wasn't considering it, it is alarming to now contemplate it.
Nova looks
But I
Oh.
suppose we're all well.
Nova looks between and just looks. Oops. Did I fuck up?
How dare you put that out into the world?
Yeah. Did Felicia and Lysander come back then?
Yes, they are back, and Lysander is looking this thing over from a, I would say, healthy distance.
What did you all face, eh?
I hesitate to call them people. I think
What?
we were facing the victims of the cart attack.
The goo puppet.
Yeah, something like that. You didn't get any of that stuff on you, did you?
Are you worried it is contagious?
Glance over.
He's
glance
looking
over
at
to
as
Ayla.
you all look
Found
at
Annie.
sorry. As you all look and what he's looking at, this body is beginning to smoke this acrid scent and is literally melting down through the ground. It's like no reason. You'd know.
Should we burn it?
You
I
you
think
wouldn't
it's
have
burning
asked.
itself.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone's ever seen what happens when there's a phosphorus fire, but that's basically what you're seeing here.
Yeah.
Chemist
Oh,
is
Chemist
terrified.
noises.
Distressed chemist sounds.
Well, it seems we are no worse for wear. Like I said, we are alive. Including you, Ramiel. You have not said a word.
And Ramiel just kind of like blinks and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was deep in thought."
Any thoughts you wish to share about this situation?
That depends. Is it information that I can share?
My neck just cracked. Sorry about that.
Why wouldn't you be able to share it?
Well, it involves some sensitive information. Information I don't think is...
Lysander and Felicia like, do we need to plug our ears?
I don't know. That depends.
Well, I don't know what mission you're on, but I'm pretty sure this thing wasn't part of it.
I hope not.
As
Yeah.
far as
Yeah,
we know,
that was in
this
the
was
mission
a
briefing.
coincidence.
This definitely didn't happen last time I came through here.
Lysander
I-
just looks at you, Brayley, like, I think you might have mentioned it if it had.
Definitely.
To be fair, if anybody in our group could be forgiven for not, it would be Brayley.
It's fair.
Either way.
It doesn't take too long as this thing continues to just bubble and burn until there is nothing left of it. It has eaten a hole almost 3 feet deep into the earth and has just completely burned away.
Brayley's gonna kick dirt like over it.
Yeah, let's just make sure that thing stays down there.
That is so strange. Such things cannot keep a form.
You hear in your head, It was keeping a form well enough when it was fighting you.
And yet now it is gone. What does that mean?
Whatever it was, the one thing that I think was more dangerous than its claws or its ability to puppet such monstrosities was its ability to learn. That
Yeah.
thing, whatever it was, It-
Yes, that was
it
unsettling.
it didn't kill because it needed to survive. It killed because it could. Because it was something it derived enjoyment out of.
Felicia speaks up. It was a demon. Hasn't been a demon seen in 20 years.
Well, that's not a great sign.
Hmm.
Most of the books were pretty restricted on demons. I didn't get to learn a ton about them, but that it burned away like that, the ichor that it gave off, sounds like a demon to me.
Don't demons have names and attributes?
Normally, yes.
Hmm.
They're known to be able to take governance of something. This doesn't seem like that, though. It was too weak.
So what, just the pawn of some other demon?
No.
I think so.
No, a spawn wouldn't have such capabilities as this one.
Perhaps.
It certainly had the malice for it.
Where there is a weak one, there are likely stronger ones. Whatever that means.
Lysander puts his hand up.
Yes.
Maybe it's just me, but I'd like to not be here anymore.
I think that is a wonderful
Yes, same.
idea.
Let's head back to camp then.
Agreed.
We're in camp.
The good news is, I believe what was going bump in the night
I
will no
thought-
longer go bump in the night for us,
I
yes?
thought we had run off.
You are kind of on the edge of your camp right now.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
But
Let's move camp.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
Not
by
here.
by this point, it is getting close to morning. So like that first bit of light is starting to show in the sky. It's that wine dark sky is beginning to turn shades of orange in the distance.
On second thought, perhaps, as they say, the early bird gets the worm.
Ayla's just gonna ruffle her wings pointedly. I don't like mornings.
Fair.
Or worms, for that matter. In case you were wondering.
Noted.
That is. Hmm. But have you ever tried them?
Can't say they ever seemed appetizing.
I was curious if you had tried. That would be funny. In any case. Oh, Ramiel? Or someone speaking?
Really was just gonna be
Oh.
like, some of them taste pretty good.
You know, I think Brayley would be a much better bird than you, Ayla.
Something, tweet, motherfucker.
Either way, I think some of us do need a wee bit of more rest, and then we can be on our way, perhaps.
But Ramiel actually starts rummaging in his pouch. God, where is it? Ah, you bugger! And he pulls out a brooch. It was like, thought I lost this thing. Right, Braley. That actually reminded me of something. And he hands the brooch over to Braley.
It's a bird.
What? What's this?
Last time I came through Scaleth, someone had handed this to me, and he was actually the reason that I found my way to the Tourmaline shops. Would I never gave it some thought, but I figured you being someone who lived in the city would recognize this. What the fuck is it? And
what am I looking at?
Ramiel handed a small gold brooch to Braley with like the symbol of a bird taking flight on it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I forgot to mention this, did I? Fuck. Shit. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Never mind.
Okay.
What do I know about this brooch, Callie?
It's nice.
It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's from our shops, though, you say?
No, someone had given it to me and told me next time I found myself in Mitra Scaleth to show that to someone who was from there. Completely fucking forgot about it.
So much so she didn't tell the DM.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm so
It's all right. So, you look over this brooch, and it does indeed. It bears the symbol of a bird taking flight, but not just taking flight from an open cage. It is a symbol of freedom. It's not one that you recognize. Maybe your parents would have a better idea of where it was made or what it's relevant to, but it is well made. You know enough about jewelry, having grown up in that shop, to see fine jewelry when you know it, when you see it.
Well, this is definitely a fine piece, Ram. I'm not sure the exact origin, but I'm sure if we took it to my mom and pa, they would know.
brilliant. Okay, so then it's genuine. It's real. It's an.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it. Really, this was an expensive piece of jewelry at one point.
At one point, it's not expensive anymore.
Yeah. No. Well, like all jewelry, it loses half its value once it leaves the shop. But
Okay. Where did you say you got this again?
It's like pink around the cheek area. A friend.
What
I
friend?
Someone I met in Mitra Scaleth, actually.
What do they look like?
Well,
Do they have a name?
yes, Canis, I think.
Heinous?
Canis, yes. Hold on. Am I spelling this right? Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
I quite literally bumped into the man last time I was here. And well, instead of
Was he handsome?
Anyway, I don't
really,
see how
really asking
yes.
the important question.
Yeah, I noticed.
he wasn't he was decent looking, um, but instead of admonishing me or having some kind of expletive thrown my way, he actually offered to give me a tour of the city, and by the end of it, he gave me this, and yeah,
Did his tour happen to include dinner?
That's
I
what I want
think-
to know too.
I think that was offered at one point, but he had gotten called away or had some manner of personal business to attend to.
This gives that smug nod.
Okay, were you hoping to find him again?
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but we're
hussy.
we're strictly on business.
Okay, well, we'll ask my mom and pa. They probably know who Canis is. Maybe.
He seemed to have nothing but good things to say about your family business, as it were.
That's good to hear.
Anyway, right. I don't know about you, but I am awfully tuckered out.
Me too. Nova's gonna go find their sleep bag.
Lysander just looks at the hole again and is like, I think I'm good on sleep tonight. I'm just going to stay. I'll keep watch.
Yeah, there's no sleeping happening.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, you can only fight an inflated skin suit so many times before that's it for sleeping that night.
How many times have you fought inflated skin suits?
5 times in the last hour, I would say.
Oh. See, I count this at, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to sleep.
So, it's not long before morning. You all get a couple more hours rest. Whether that is sleep or not is entirely up to you after what you saw tonight.
I just need to make my health be at 100% because it was not.
Fair enough.
That is all.
You may all take a long rest as morning approaches.
And my spell slot. My one spell slot.
Yes. And you set out again after... Again, breakfast is made, but I think some people just kind of poke at their food a little bit more than actually eat this morning before you set out again. The day's travel is... Really, now it's more like you remember. The energy of the forest has somewhat returned. It is a pleasant trip today. In fact, this music's a bit of a bummer
Yeah.
for how it is, I would say.
Did Brayley find any mushrooms along the way?
Are you looking for mushrooms?
Definitely.
Make a nature check.
Brayley's always looking for mushrooms.
Okay. Make a nature check.
Did you say nature
What
check?
kind of mushrooms?
Yes.
She rolling.
14.
It's not hard to find mushrooms. You're in the forest after all. You find some hyphae that are attached to the sides of trees, a couple of which you quickly recognize you should not eat, and a couple you see that you definitely can eat. So you collect some of the ones that you absolutely can.
Are they
Unfortunately-
psychedelic?
What about ones you should eat?
You don't find any that have if those are the properties that you're looking for. Unfortunately, you're not able to add to your collection of happy mushrooms.
All right. Some normies and some
You find some
poisies.
normies, and you don't unfortunately find any this time around that are new to your collection. You have quite a sizable mushroom collection that you've been working on over the years. However, nothing new for this one. Still, you find some that you think are impressive, and you do try to show some of the other party members some of the cooler ones, and I would say they react with varying degrees of interest. That can be up to each of you how you all react to Brayley's excitement over the mushrooms. I will say that in all the time that you've known Brayley, I think there have been 3 moments that stand out in terms of her being enthused and excited. One was seeing the singer at the gala. The other was the first time she brought Orion over to talk with Ramiel. And the third is when she talks about mushrooms.
Mm.
I can see that this is important to you. And I pat your back.
It is interesting to you, so it is interesting to me, says Nova.
Trying
feel
her
like-
best.
With how excited you are, I have to ask, are these like normal mushrooms or like the walls are breathing mushrooms?
These are normie mushrooms. Well, maybe we'll find some
What-
special
what?
ones.
Why do you sound disappointed in that? Aren't
It's a wink.
It's
Really just smiles at you.
it's a
One day you'll
wonderful,
find out.
healthy thing.
should I be terrified at the thoughts?
Should be excited.
Hardly.
Felicia just nods. Oh, yeah, they use those kinds of mushrooms at school.
Not just-
What kind of school do you go to?
Not just
Have
at
you seen how
schools.
stressful it is during exams?
Oh,
Schools and plenty of other places as well.
Yeah.
People
If you
who
think
want
Orion's attractive, just wait until you do mushrooms and look at him.
or you will find out some things about yourself that you were not expecting.
Indeed, they can be quite useful for finding answers about things you're curious for.
Why are you all looking at me like that?
Oh, just explaining. You seem to not be aware of mushrooms, so we were merely explaining. I think we all have different experiences with them. I knew them as customers would take them.
Listen, I may not imbibe on such illicit substances, but that doesn't mean I'm not
These
experienced.
are
in
nature's
them.
treasures, Ram Ram.
Yeah, they're not illicit, but
They are very legal. Just very expensive.
yeah, drug control is not a major focus of Mother's Jail or very many places in this era.
I like that Ramiel thinks
Something,
they're
something.
illicit.
Oh yeah, for sure Melody told Ramiel that they're illegal.
Something bigger fish.
I just happen to I just happen to personally choose form of abstinence from the damn things.
Oh. I
More for
apologize. I
us.
didn't realize you were straight edge. We do respect such self-control.
Layla, if there's anything about me, it's not straight.
Right. Listen,
Somewhere Orion just looks around like, huh.
ears are burning. Listen, some of us are simply inexperienced, virginal in certain things than others, as there is no shame in that.
If you know.
What? Sorry?
What?
I didn't hear what you said. Literally, the microphone.
Don't worry about it. That was Ramiel just being like the virgin that he is.
That's very well. There is no
he
shame
was
in.
about to brag how he's like he's had so much sex, dude.
Oh!
Like
Yes. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with it.
Dolvik in the chat. Let's get one thing straight. I'm not.
Listen, there is no shame in either thing. Some things are exciting, and some things can get boring after a while, from what I understand. So, it is all in what you like and moderation.
well. I'm sorry, I'm still,
At least-
still laughing at the whole thing.
At least that is what I had learned from my own mother. But, either way.
Well,
So,
I mean, I don't know if I have mentioned this before, but I thought that my certain preferences fell on the more feminine persuasion of things, but as it turns out, over the years, I discovered that is definitely not the case. And I, I don't know why it was something that I really never shared about anyone. I just thought that this was something that everyone else sort of experienced in terms of learning where their preferences lied or laid. I mean, mine
It's
did.
About
alright, dude.
mushrooms?
Everyone's on their own
No,
journey,
no,
and there's
Braley.
no shame in it.
I just put a
She'll-
hand.
She'll
Sorry.
pat his arm very gently.
I put a hand on Braille. Go, no, dear. Sex with people.
Oh, I thought we were talking about mushroom preference.
I mean, we are in a manner of speaking.
In a manner of speaking.
Mushroom is the code word. I mean, given
Oh.
the mushroom you posted,
Yeah,
Apple.
in the chat today. I was like, that is obscene.
Okay, sorry.
So, you all, given the nature of what happened last night, the banter of the morning is actually quite pleasant, especially with the forest having sort of returned to its normal state. It'll take a long time before the nightmares of what happened on this journey are forgotten by all, but it's nice to have a degree of just normalcy as you're making your way towards Mitra Scaleth. And it's only about noon when you actually arrive at the city on the eastern coast of the Crown. To understand the appearance of Mitra Scaleth requires a history lesson, so I hope you'll all indulge me. In the third year of the Draconic Civil War, Azur's Remembrance boasted one of the strongest navies, not just in Mother's Jail, but in the entire world. Though their ships were varied and non-uniform, having come from all over the world, their might at sea was unquestionable. That is, until a string of humiliating defeats to the Warden Republic and their famed naval commander, Sanu of the Verde. At the hands of Sanu, Azur's Remembrance was defeated 7 times in 19 days, and none more critically than at the Second Battle of Left Wing Isle. There, over 40% of the Azure fleet was sunk, and their leader, Admiral Dre of the Azure, went down with his ship, Azur's Dream. The surviving fleet was damaged and fleeing for their lives as Sanu's ships gave chase, intent on putting an end to Azur's Remembrance as a military power once and for all. And indeed, everyone was shocked when Mitra Scaleth, to this point a beacon of neutrality in the war, offered safe haven to the surviving fleet. Azur's Remembrance was allowed to dock at the city, and Mitra Scaleth made known that any attacks on their guests would constitute an act of war on not only them, but the Elvish people as a whole. Not wanting to risk opening another front of the war, Sanu instead devised a new strategy. He fanned his ships out into a blockade, ensuring that Azur's Remembrance could not leave the port, nor could any other ships enter, and such did that remain the situation for the next 3 years. Over those 3 years, Azur's Remembrance found new leadership in an elven man from Terrasin named Shiso Denerin. He understood quickly that they would never again be able to compete with the Warden Republic in traditional naval warfare, and was a veteran of the war with Scala. He recognized that the skills in piracy and blockade running he had learned during the siege of Moon Bay would serve him well here. And such was the Grand Navy of Azur's Remembrance, split into a loose collective of privateers and pirate ships, each given the full authority to attack, flee, handle prisoners as they see fit, and keep whatever treasures they could find. And when after 3 years of blockading the city still had not yielded surrender from the Remembrance, Sanu was forced to pull his fleets back and deal with the Draconic Legion, which had moved closer to home. Over those years, however, the many ships in the ports of Mitra Scaleth had become a city all on their own. Walkways and bridges were constructed between the many ships in the port. Many ships became places of business, be it markets, theaters, surgeries, taverns, whatever was needed by the people who lived there at the time. And today, Mitra Scaleth still remains really 2 cities in one One half of it boasts the grand and beautiful architecture of the elves, a beacon of neutrality and education in an otherwise war-focused continent. And the other half is a massive, disorganized collection of ships and temporary structures turned permanent that sprawl across the port. And yet, in the chaos, a culture all its own, beautiful and exciting, has popped up. And such is Mitra Scaleth as you arrive. The main part of the city, the elven portion of the city, is on the higher grounds that are further back away from the coast, leading up to some massive bluffs that look over about 100-foot drop down to the water. These are the elven part of the city. And then it almost from a distance looks as though the city builds out onto the water itself. This massive city of wood, effectively, and ships that have been broken down and assembled into a floating city in the bay that makes up the entrance to Mitra Scaleth. And that is what you see as you all come into view. Brayley, it's home.
Braylee's definitely conflicted about being home. But we're
fair.
excited to see our family, specifically Mom.
I'm glad.
Huh. I am afraid I have never been here before. But I believe we have someone to drop off.
Felicia smiles. Yes, I'll take you up into the Manor District, and I'm sure my mother will reward you for not only for helping me through the forest, but allowing me to make the trek at all.
Perfect. I think we will all be very interested in saying hello to your mother.
Oh, wonderful.
I
Well then.
know I will, cousin.
Yes. Obviously, as I said, she's my adoptive mother, but yeah. So
Still.
you make your way into the city proper. It is constructed like an elven city, which is to say it does have an outer wall that some buildings are actually built directly into. For those of you who played in Scholarain, the kind of gatehouse being built directly into the outer walls rather than being an outstanding structure near a portcullis is the same idea that they use here. But you're able to enter in. They are a neutral city in this war, or so they claim. So they don't have sealed gates, and you are able to enter in, though I will say the guards look somewhat surprised as you enter, as no one has come down this road in a bit. And one of them kind of stops you as you're starting to move through. Good afternoon.
Is there a problem, sir?
No, apologies. I don't mean to give you worry. It's merely that we haven't seen anybody come down the road in, almost a couple weeks now. We were just curious if there was some problem in Jet's ambition.
Problem was in the forest, but
Problem is now dead. We killed the problem.
It's been resolved.
Oh. Well, thank you very kindly for that then. I'm glad to see you're here safely, and he glances at Felicia. And I'm sure Lady Eastbrook will be as well. Yes, please, welcome to Mitra Scaleth.
Thank you very much.
And you are allowed to pass through this checkpoint relatively unmolested as you make your way into... Okay.
Didn't know Brayley wanted that so bad.
As you enter into the city of Mitra Scaleth proper.
Riley wanted the TSA experience.
Throw me in the trash. Throw me in the trash.
Brayley just
On
wants a
fire.
You
meal.
can ask anyone
As a
for a
treat.
pat down, Brayley. It's okay.
I think
Are you sure
Brayley's
you don't
more...
need to? Are you sure you don't need to search me for drugs? I've been known to have morels on me.
I think Brayley's just more upset that they didn't go investigate themselves.
in the prisoner's pocket, as they say.
Oh, no. All right.
Well, let's continue.
Anyway,
It's just too funny. Okay.
all right. Indeed. So, are we going first to see Lady Eastbrook then?
I think so. Is that okay with everybody, or?
Yeah.
I assumed that was the first thing we were doing when we got here.
Sure.
Mhm.
So at that, Lysander takes the lead, along with Felicia, who again does cover herself back up, and you begin to make your way up a series of roads that lead kind of north up the coast, and you notice that you are constantly ascending as you make your way along. At some spots, there are like sets of stairs that you have to climb, but usually it's just a steady slope that you are making your way up. And by the time you've reached the kind of top of this area, you see a set of manors that sit along a large bluff overlooking the sea. This is clearly a very high-class part of town. You expect probably a lot of the most important people of the city are here. And indeed, the one that she takes you to is a stately manor, 2 floors with a deep red roof on top of it. A simple white stone wall guards the front of the building, and an elven man with blonde hair stands at the front gate. As your group approaches, his eyes widen as they fall on Felicia. Miss Felicia, welcome home. And she nods politely. Hello. These are some guests for Mother. They saw me here safely, and I would have her reward them suitably, she says. Notably, her tone of voice changes. She speaks much more properly now. She's not hyperactive, as you've seen. She's not the usual bundle of energy and questions. She is carrying herself much more in a dignified manner here. And Lysander is just staring through the walls, through the building, out to shore somewhere, just as if he knows all too well that this is an act and who she actually is. He just looks so very tired, like he needs a nap.
He always needs a nap.
He does.
I mean, to be fair, look at the night we just had.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. He looked doubly tired today, more so than normal. But indeed, the gates are opened for you, and the man bows politely as you all pass by and enter into this rather grand home. It is built in Elven architecture, so it is very opulent. It is beautifully designed. The architecture is made of a sort of white stone. However, it is decorated in precious gems and stones like jade that have been carved into intricate symbols and symbology on the walls. It is absolutely beautiful. Anyone who's ever been in Moon Bay, the architecture would look extremely familiar to you. It's very much the same way the elves designed their city there. So Ramiel, for sure, this is very familiar to you. I mean, you didn't live in a place like this. You lived in an orphanage, but you've seen homes like this and architecture like this. But as you enter, you head into what looks like a sitting room. And there, after a moment, indeed, Lady Lenneth Eastbrook enters into the room. Brayley, you recognize her from having talked to her at the party briefly. She stands. She is wearing armor right now, which is interesting as to why she would be wearing armor in her own home. It is sort of more of a naval garb, though, whereas she cannot obviously wear plate at sea, because if you fall in the water, you will drown very quickly. Nor can you
only
wear a
mistake
chain.
that once.
Yes, that's exactly what you only get to make that mistake one time. She is wearing what looks to be a leather surcoat over a beautiful dress. And at her hip, she has a rapier with an elegantly adorned handle. And as she enters in, she smiles brightly. Felicia! And Felicia hops up and runs over to give her a hug. And she looks her over. However did you get out of the city? I had heard everything was locked down. And Felicia motions to you all. They had special orders to come to Mitra Scaleth, and she lied, says Lysander. She said that she was with them, and we went with them.
She needed help. How were we to say no?
Braylee's like, hi.
I
guys.
see.
It
Miss
it was
Tourmaline.
certainly a bit of coincidence.
Yes, it would
Pleasant
seem
one
so.
nonetheless, though.
Yes. Very well. Braylee, why don't you go upstairs? I'm going to speak with your friends here.
You mean Felicia go upstairs?
What did I say? Braylee?
Really?
That would be
Why
weird.
am I going upstairs?
That'd be weird. Felicia, I'm sorry.
Lady Elenith Eastbrook wants to thank you.
Listen,
personally.
you get a special reward.
Ooh.
Yeah. But no, Braylee, God damn it.
Mhm.
Felicia.
Felicia and Lysander depart the room and head upstairs. And as they're departing, Lady Leneth speaks up. And Lysander, and he stops and turns to look back at her. Well done. I understand this was not an easy assignment for you. And he he looks at her. The look on his face says he wants to say, you have no fucking idea. How dare you try and suggest that you do? And what he actually says is, thank you, milady. And he bows and leaves.
I love my bodyguards.
Yeah.
So fucking much.
And Lady Leneth nods. Can I have some tea prepared for you all or anything to eat? You must be hungry.
Oh, yes.
Of course. We will take your hospitality. Thank you.
Of course. And she calls for one of her servants who sets about preparing some like hand sandwiches and some tea and fresh water. Please have a seat. And she sits down. Thank you, first and foremost, for delivering my daughter here safely. It is, I had hoped that the guards I had sent to bring her home would be the ones to do so. I have not heard from them. They have not reported now in almost a week.
Go ahead.
If they pass through the dying forest, I highly doubt you'd hear back from them at all.
There's what you might call a complication to that.
Indefinitely
see.
delayed.
There was.
And what is the nature of this complication?
A hunter of sorts. One that hunted for sport.
A hunter that was hunting people.
Felicia, actually, I should say, because I rolled a 4 on the charisma roll for this, Nova is holding herself. Wow, why do I keep saying
No
Nova?
one can figure out their own character's name tonight.
What the hell's happening?
I made
We're
the
all
mistake of naming
trading
my dog
names.
Nova.
Oh boy.
So
Ayla's
Ayla.
holding herself, like, very stiffly, a lot more similar to Ramiel than I think anyone would have ever seen before.
Uh-huh.
Ah, so Ayla too has a stick up her ass.
Not willingly.
Yeah.
And what, might I ask, is the nature of this hunter?
Alicia seemed to think it was demonic in nature. I don't have any reason to disagree with her.
She raises her eyebrows at that. Demonic.
That is what she said based on her studies.
And
It's
And
um,
I'm
in
similarly inclined to believe her.
It skinned people, hung their corpses from the trees, filled their skins with ichor, and puppeted them.
And stole skins of others for itself.
Really gags at like the memory of it.
And it spoke to
Pat,
us
pat.
in our own voices.
at least if you made contact with it.
It is not disintegrated into the forest floor. But
I
yes,
see.
awful and likely caused many deaths.
She gazes over each of you silently for a long moment, as if trying to piece something together. I see. There have been no demons in almost 20 years, in over 20 years now.
I suppose we do not know for sure if that is what this is, but certainly no man and not merely a monster.
At least
Again,
not to this
it-
scale.
It starts with her supposition, but we're all, I believe, we accept it as the current answers. Nothing else meets satisfactorily to explain it.
If my daughter suggests that this thing was a demon, I am unfortunately inclined to believe her. She is a student of demonology. I see. A demon in the forests of the Crown. One that wears the skins of others and speaks in their voices. Well, thank you, first and foremost, for ridding us of it and for protecting my daughter.
Of course.
Had I any idea that something like that was in the forest, I would have bade her remain in Jet's ambition.
Well, given the state of things in Jet's
It's all
ambition,
right.
wouldn't be faulted for
Yes.
thinking that the safest place for her to be was by your side.
Yes,
And regardless, it all worked out, so.
indeed. These are unique times.
Un-
I don't think it's any coincidence that I saw you all at the gala and now you sit in my parlor.
Perhaps not.
Something more than just my daughter has brought you here.
I'm sorry, were we supposed to meet with her specifically?
She's
or-
your only
yes.
lead.
Okay. Our only lead to talk to.
Admiral Denerin is who you're trying to speak with.
Okay. To be completely honest, this whole affair happened to be fortuitous for both of us. For both of us. We are part of the Children of the Deep.
Yeah.
Children of the Deep. And we are here to discuss things with the name, sorry, Admiral
Denerin.
Admiral Denerim. And well, it just so happens that you was the person we were told to reach out to first, and just happened so accidentally that Felicia was with us.
She takes one of the small hand sandwiches, takes the smallest bite you've ever seen, sets it back down, puts the plate down. I see. And why, may I ask, are you coming to see me as a member of the Children of the Deep? I do not serve in the Children of the Deep.
I believe you have the listening ear of the Admiral. And, well, we know you were speaking with someone of our group.
She has a almost frustrated look on her face. Yes, the good general. Indeed. I would be better known as Commodore Eastbrook. So, you are aware then that our alliance with Azur's Remembrance is more than just our happy, strange bedfellows occurrence that we have here.
It certainly is suspicious.
I'm aware that it is not exactly a well-kept secret. But for the sake of not pulling the elves into war, most people are willing to look the other way on it. Azur's Remembrance isn't important enough to risk going to war with Mitra Glorianda.
So why is Mitra Glorianda involved? Anybody can talk, by the way. I'm just saying stuff.
Unfortunately, that is the nature of our business here.
I see.
We were sent here to make an official alliance between the Children of the Deep and Azur's Remembrance.
An official alliance.
Is that is correct?
A defensive pact.
Offensive.
Was it that they wouldn't attack us?
What you are seeking, so ideally, they would take part in the offensive with you, is what you would like, but at the very minimum, you wanted to secure the rights to move your fleet through the long jump without being attacked.
That's what I thought. Well, certainly if any would like to join us on the offensive, but at the minimum, we simply would like to pass through the long jump without conflict.
Might I suppose that the rumblings are true then? The Children of the Deep are preparing an invasion.
Perhaps. Either way, this is why we have come.
A simple movement.
Yes. Anything but simple, I think.
And it is war,
Smile.
it is war, madame.
That it is, and it has been for a very long time. You asked what Mitra Glorianda's interest in it was.
I did.
I would very much like to be able to tell you, though I don't know.
What do you know?
I was sent from Mitra Glorianda. I was born in the city of Mitra Primus, the capital of Mitra Glorianda. I was sent by High Prioress Vicenzia to come take command of the elven forces here and ally with Azur's Remembrance. I will allow anyone who wants to make a history check on that name to know what you know about it.
I only have +1, so
Okay.
somebody else want to
What
give
was
it
that?
a shot?
Something
no.
plus?
Oh,
The
It's
name,
sad.
here, I'll type the name out for you.
I guess I'll
Yikes.
try. If we can all try. Can't hurt. Hey.
So we got a 3, a 5, an 11, a 14, and an 11. Okay. So that name is a strange one. You don't know a ton about them, except that supposedly the High Prioress is the leader of the Elvish people. Each of the Elvish cities on the various continents, including on Moon Bay, is led by a prioress. That is the name of the highest-ranking elf in each city. The High Prioress is said to be their overseer. If she is telling the truth, then she has been commanded by the most powerful elf in the world to be here. So, you wish then to speak with Admiral Denerin and work out this alliance. All right.
Exactly. What we have, of course, saved your daughter, although that was honestly a coincidence. Hopefully that
Albeit
proves our
a
strengths.
pleasant one.
Hopefully that proves our strengths and trust, including that we took care of the demonic figure in the forest, which your daughter can attest to.
It proves that you are capable of recognizing an opportunity when you see one. However, I do tend to agree. You said your name was, I'm sorry, Miss Layla?
Yes.
3 times now you have referred to seeing my daughter as a happy coincidence. Why?
She'll sort of straighten everything about herself for a moment. Well, because she is family.
She stiffens at that and takes on a much more serious demeanor. In what way?
A cousin of some variety, I'm led to understand.
You do not hail from Mother's Jail, do you?
No. Is it Rest Hearth?
Rest Hearth, yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I don't know why. I knew Hearth was in there, but for some
Yep.
reason I was like, it's Hearth something.
Yep, Rest Hearth.
No, from Rest Hearth.
Ah. Well, welcome. Please, forgive my suspicions. One does not survive in my position without being very careful.
Hardly. And you did take my relation in and care for her.
That was my privilege. She has proven to be brilliant, almost single-minded in her ability to focus on her tasks.
That is accurate.
She is a student, as I say, of demonology, handpicked by a man of import to take up that mantle.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Sorry.
I will arrange for a meeting with you and Admiral Denerin. You will likely have to go to him. He doesn't make his way up here, well, hardly ever. So You-
Where can we find him?
you'll find him on a ship called the Blood Price. It is in the port. It's difficult to miss. It is the only ship that is sideways.
The blood price? Brayley's not excited about it.
Yes.
Sounds dirty.
It is.
Scary.
It is the central ship in the port and the headquarters of their government.
Do we go waltzing up, sir, or are you going to take some time and
I would
day search?
recommend giving it a little bit of time till I send word that you are on your way there.
Exactly.
They do not necessarily kill people on sight, but they don't also treat outsiders particularly well.
That is fair.
They are pirates, after all.
Understandable.
In the meantime, you're welcome to stay here this night if you wish. It's a least I could do. I will have a reward prepared for you as well before you depart the city, whether you are able to secure your agreement or not. If you do not wish to stay here, there are places in town to stay, and I would gladly pay for your room and board.
No, I think this would suffice if no one else has any objections.
I would like to see my family.
Of course, Miss Tourmaline. Yes, I believe the Eyes of Sapphire is still open and running down in the middle walks.
Family reunion?
Yeah.
But yes, I certainly will not turn my nose up at a free bed.
Well, it is free whether you stay here or not. I hear the Widow's Revenge is quite nice.
Of course, there's a widow's revenge.
Yeah, they've now branched out. This is the second location.
Fucking A.
Wait, do you have
Are
one
you,
here?
are you,
Say what was
Etched
that?
in on the Whispers in Silence met here money.
Wait, do you have one here?
Oh yes. They started opening new locations about. I think this one opened about 10 years ago.
Gods above, well, that's a name I didn't think I was going to hear here.
Is there something special about it?
Oh, rumor had it, they gave out special commemorative shirts. If you,
what they're famous for.
if you manage to overcome a challenge of sorts.
Challenge.
She looks at you, Ramiel, like. Perhaps more notably, it said that the Whispers in Silence met in A Widow's Revenge on Terrason.
Oh, I understand.
But yes, I have seen the somewhat vulgar shirt that they give out.
Is it really that bad?
She rolls her eyes.
Perhaps you will have to see for yourself if you were not told.
Well, as I say, either way, you may assume that your room and board is paid for, either here or otherwise. And I will have a reward prepared for you before you leave. If you'll give me the day to make contact with Admiral Denerin by tomorrow, he'll know that you're on your way.
Very well, thank you.
But of course, and thank you again for the safe return of my daughter and her bodyguard.
think
Before
nothing of it.
before you depart, we were wondering if you'd be able to help us out with another matter. Being in a position such as yours, you might be familiar with certain peoples around the Azure's Remembrance. You wouldn't happen to know of a water lily, would you?
A water lily.
Or might also answer to Dahlia.
She shakes her head. I'm sorry, my contact with the Remembrance is Admiral Denerin. It is possible that he would be able to give you more information. This is someone who serves in the Remembrance.
So we've been told.
Despite being a Commodore, my position is more akin to a messenger girl, I'm afraid. I'm a liaison between Mitra Primus and Azure's Remembrance.
If the Admiral were to work with us, would that include you and your people?
It would depend on the terms of that and what the High Prioress has to say about them. I would not put it out of the realm of possibility, though the High Prioress has been very clear to avoid direct conflict so far. Ours has been one of neutrality and of keeping the peace. Such was Azure's Remembrance, not wiped off the map.
Interesting.
And indeed, now, as they are fortified and built in, well, I would invite anyone who has a death wish to try to remove Azure's Remembrance at this point. 1,000 ships could descend upon our harbors, and 1,000 ships would be sunk.
So quite secure.
Yes. Such was my task.
May I ask another question?
You may.
Your daughter, when we had chanced upon her, she had mentioned she was a student of the abjuration branch. Why why wouldn't she tell us she was a student of demonology?
In the wake of the fall of Scala, there are those who believe that it would be best that we just forget. That we just step away from demons. After all, people cannot ignite into them anymore, or so the whispers have told us. However, one of them has taken upon herself to ensure that if they ever do start surfacing again, that there are those prepared. Her and her husband have been finding people across the world that are capable and intelligent enough to deal with demons. It was him who selected my daughter as one of the founding members of their new organization.
Is that what they've been up to?
New organization?
Yes. I can't say I know a whole lot about it, other than that it is dedicated to the understanding and hopefully passing of demons.
Well, if so Sunvale has
She raises an eyebrow. Yes, Sir Sunvale, indeed.
I'm sorry, did I misspeak? Did I misspeak?
No, I was just surprised that you knew him.
Um
You're not from Mitra Scaleth, are you?
No.
No, you have the look of Moon Bay all over you.
Ramiel raises an eyebrow at that.
She reaches out and takes your chin, lifting it. No. You were born on Mitra Glorianda. Interesting. How did you come to be in Moon Bay?
He blinks. I've lived in Moonbay my entire life.
I can assure you haven't. You were born on Mitra Glorianda.
How can you tell?
She motions to a small mark just under your collarbone, a birthmark there. That was put upon you when you were born. She tugs down the collar, showing that she has the exact same marking there.
And what I mean I've only ever thought this was a random patch of skin. that
As do
just-
most. It is a closely guarded secret save to those who live there.
Regardless, what's the? Forgive me for my ignorance, but what does it mean?
Means you were born in Mitra Primus, or... Well, no, you would have had to be born in Mitra Primus. Do you know your birth parents' name?
I barely knew them. I thought it was my mother and father before I lost them.
She nods. I'm sorry. Many were lost in the war with Scala. Many of our own. Well, if you ever wish to see Mitra Primus, you are one of the few who would be permitted to go.
An exclusive area.
I've only heard tales of the Oven homeland.
Do
But-
not allow them to cloud your mind. They are overstated, and then some.
Well, if I've why wouldn't they tell me? If surely they would have known.
Who can say such things? Yes, your birth parents would have to have known. They would have to have been there from there as well. Why they didn't tell you,
Certainly
I
at
don't know.
least one of them.
Yes. Well, my apologies, Ramiel. I'm sorry if I stirred up something within you, but you are a child of Mitra Glorianda, and to that end, I will ensure that the Admiral had a good word put in.
Well, um if I might impose on you, and he tugs on a little lower on the collar and just kind of like shows like a glimmer of that of the scales. If you would also
She looks at them. Make an insight check. She looks at them for a long moment. Interesting.
you wouldn't also happen to know in the circles you frequent someone who may shed some answers on this as well.
Ramiel, how old were you when you were orphaned?
Sorry, say that again.
How old were you when you were orphaned?
Oh fuck. Yeah. How?
And indeed,
How-
the rest of the party, you also have now seen the scales.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say. Oh.
Yeah. For the rest of the party, they would have seen like a glimmer of like something, like a deep, dark. Like it's not skin. It's straight up just scales.
Well, that
Kinda
is
like the-
interesting.
Kind of like the kind
Ooh.
you see on Dragonborn, but interesting. Ramiel is an
And
elf.
now it's on people born.
An elf from Mitra Gloriander with dragon scales. Now that is interesting.
She kind of... Nova, make an insight check.
Okay. Someone else needs to make the insight check. I have... I have +2. When did I train myself at insight? Did it go through?
Yes.
Okay.
11, you don't notice particularly anything about it.
Someone else
she-
should do it.
She glances in your direction. You would do well not to show anyone those.
I try not to. It's not. Well, given the nature of this place and other things, I figured this would be the safest place to get answers.
Perhaps. Before you leave, come see me again.
And Ramiel just kind of like nods and then again uncharacteristically quiet for him. Just deep in thought.
For what it's worth, she also seems deep in thought now. Something about this has changed something for her. Well, as I say, your rooms will be taken care of. I'll send on to the Widow's Revenge if that's where you're planning on staying. That your bills can be passed to me. And
Assuming it would not be too much of an imposition, I would like to remain here for the evening.
With your cousin, of course. A room will be prepared for you.
Thank you. I do not mean to impose.
Not at all for family.
It's going to try this contest with the Widow's Revenge.
Very
That
well.
sounds fun. Unless everyone else is staying here, then she
Oh,
will.
Ayla is not staying here.
No, Ayla, I think this feels a bit too much like home for you.
Romuel is like, it's just like home, and fucking Ayla's just
I
like,
was gonna
just
The
like
only,
Just like
the
home.
only reason I threw that in was it felt appropriate.
I think for
No,
Layla
it
it makes
did.
total sense.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
get to
yeah.
spend another
Mhm.
night with Felicia.
No,
That
I
would
think
make
it's
total sense
totally
to me.
fair.
So-
Listen.
But for right now, you all can stick together as you are going to go see Braylee's family.
All right, Brayley. Give us the tea. What about your family must we be aware of? What should we avoid? Any
I believe you
unpleasant
mentioned
topics?
a black sheep in your family at
Wait,
one
what?
point.
Who's a black sheep?
A Mark. I'm not quite sure if the name is Mark or if he has a mark of a black sheep on him. You mentioned he was a bit of a family disappointment. And coming from you, that's kind of a damning thing.
That was very harsh.
Damn.
I'd say if Brayley's calling them a disappointment, then God, then
I
To be
think-
clear, Brayley didn't say that. I did.
I was gonna say I don't think Brayley has said anything about her family,
Yeah,
so
I don't think so.
Well, if we were to
Oh.
glean anything from your tone,
One of them was a mistake, or they both were.
That
Brayley was
is
the only one that
right.
was planned.
Yeah,
That
that
is
is true.
right.
Which
That
is
is right.
very different.
On,
To be
on-
fair, I was also a mistake. Yes, that's fine.
Oof. You
Like,
hear in your
Ayla
head.
just nods.
You hear in your head,
Yes.
Nova. Oof.
Just trying to relate.
On the border between the wealthier northern section of town and the middle-class section called the Middle Walks, between the north and the port, sits a two-story building with a sign reading Eyes of Sapphire on the front. From the main window display, you can see beautiful, gleaming works of jewelry done in an elegant elven style. Yet notably, many of the pieces have incorporated styles popular among the Dragonborn of Mother's Jail. It's almost like they're trying to appeal to their crowd.
As you do.
The building itself consists of a storefront on the main floor and a home above it. Brayley, you wouldn't say you were rich necessarily growing up, but given the sizable nature of the shop, you were certainly comfortable. Stepping into the building, you see there are a few people browsing around, but the two people behind the counter are the ones you take note of first, because both of them are without a doubt related to Brayley. Both seem older than her and have hair the exact same color as hers. One of them has a bright smile on his face as he shows a pair of wristlets to a lovely woman that is practically swooning over them. The other is, well, you don't get the sense he's as thrilled to be here. He's distracted with a sketch pad that he's holding, drawing away at it as you all enter. But as you enter, he does mumble out in his best customer service voice, "Welcome to the Eyes of Sapphire. If you need help with anything..." Brayley!
She's
As
gonna like
you
fix
are
her-
indeed
Not in the
looking
script.
at Braylon and Mark.
My bros. Brayley's gonna try to like fix her hair a little bit. She'll be like, trying to look like, put together.
Brayley's like, "It's Wednesday, Magoobs."
Yeah, exactly. What?
Hey.
I'm
just gonna approach.
Oh, wow. Brayley. He quickly puts the sketch pad away and down. Wow, look at you. Girl, you look amazing.
Oh no.
Are you? You know.
No, listen, you've been out in the woods. You are slaying.
You think so? She kind of is trying to wipe away any. Usually she has dirt on her face.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
Wipe away
Well,
any
I mean, listen,
remnants of dirt.
yeah, Dad wouldn't be happy about it, but I mean, no, the whole down in the dirt thing is you.
You
It's
should
so
have seen her and
rustic.
see. You
I
should
was
have seen
hoping you'd say
Nancy.
in.
I wouldn't say that it's in, honey. It's definitely it was in.
It will be once
Never.
the war heats up.
Oh,
Oh.
but for you, look, doll, you pull it off. You look amazing. It's so good to see you again. Mark is interesting, everybody. Mark's a lot.
Mark is a lot.
Tell me about my
anybody-
brother.
Anybody watch Brad Mondo?
Yes, that is.
This is Brad Mondo.
That is who Mark is
I've
based
seen
off
a
of.
few in the background and stuff.
This
yeah.
is Brad
Just
Mondo.
like-
I literally
Like-
cut my hair to Brad Mondo fucking tutorials.
Yeah. Well, good news. That's your older brother or your
Yeah.
middle brother.
I got obsessed with
Uh,
his videos during quarantine. So
I feel like Ayla goes from being like all grumpy and bristly to just what?
It's hard to be mad when Mark's in the room, to be fair. Unless you're Mark's dad. Mark's dad is always mad when Mark's in the room.
Romeo is going to make eyes at Brayley and make the same motion she made with Lysander. With like, is he? You know.
Brayley, you and Mark
Right, bait?
you and Mark haven't discussed Mark's sexuality. All you know is that he wore your clothes more often than you did. And him and his guy friends were always a lot closer than him and his girlfriend.
Brayley's just gonna give you a
why don't you introduce us, Brayley, please?
Yes, who are these interesting individuals and this lovely man? Oh my.
wait, what? She's definitely gonna be like, don't you be looking at him?
He's like, he definitely like gives you that look of
taken.
like, is he single?
It's gonna be like one of these like a
Like, mm-mm.
Is he gonna make the same exact hand motion Romeo just did?
Mm-mm.
these are my companions. And she's gonna Ram's maybe got something going on, so don't like
Well,
I don't know what
mean,
your eyes are about, but I'm not too crazy about the Mark.
Well, I'm just saying, we're in Meet Your Scaleth. This is neutral territory, dear.
My God.
All bets are off.
What
All's
happens with
fair
Meet Your
and
Scale
love
stays
and
in
Meet Your
Meet
Scale.
Your
It does say in Meet Your
You know
Scaleth.
what? Shoot your shot, Mark.
Poor fucking Orion, like Orion or whatever the fuck.
Poor Orion. Yeah. By the way, thank
To
you
be
for that
fair-
Michigan pronunciation
Yeah,
of
right,
Orion. Well done.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say no. To be fair, that's what Ramiel's thinking right now too.
Yeah.
Or Omegon or whatever his name is.
What's his name again?
Poor what's his face.
We actually not giving Romeo a fucking bike so he can be like in a I don't even know what to call this. Like at this point, it's turning into a harem.
Oh my god. Who's
It's turning into a fucking reverse harem. Right?
You will be the new Maeve. It's fine.
who stayed? Did anyone stay behind, or are we all like?
You
we're
are all
We're
there.
all well,
I
not
think we're
Felicia,
all
but the
here.
5 of us are here.
Yeah, the 5 of you. are
Yeah.
Yeah, Ayla definitely was like, no, I'm coming with y'all.
there.
the fuck outta
Braylon,
here.
Braylon, the professional that he is, finishes making the sale before he comes over, and he just like picks you up off the ground and hugs you. Brayley, how you doing?
The other brother.
Yes. Well, that's usually not how they refer to me, but yes. And you must be Brayley's parole officer.
Oh no! I did save her from someone else probably needing a parole officer from the
Oh.
amount of jewels she was holding.
These are my friends.
Of course, of course. It is so very nice to meet you. I am Braylon Tourmaline, future owner of this shop. But and you have all been traveling with my sister. And Mark's like, Braylon, dear God. And he just like glances at his younger brother, like, oh, go back to your pretty pictures.
I am Nova. It is a pleasure.
Oh, indeed. And oh my goodness, an ASMR. I have a piece that would look outstanding on you.
Is this Mark or Brayden?
That was
This is-
Braylon, actually.
Oh,
We're now in salesman mode, and
What?
he's used to having to deal with very hoity-toity elven.
Braylon, come on. These are my friends. They're not customers.
Okay, we have a friends and family discount.
These are my friends. Turn it off.
I mean, I want to see what it looks like, but I don't want you to,
Oh, of
She's
course.
giving him that look like, these are not customers. These are my friends.
This is a social
You always
call.
do this.
Mm.
Of course. My apologies. I'll. So are you back for a while, or is this just a drop in?
We got some business here, but while I have you, Ram, you have a piece, don't you?
I do. I was hoping to have it identified, or at least last time I came here, an acquaintance had given it to me,
I see.
and he hands the brooch over.
He he goes over and takes out one of those things to look through, the little magnifying eyepiece as he looks at it. Well, the quality on it is definitely elven make. There's a number of tourmalines actually in here, which I believe is meant to suggest that it was made here. It wasn't, of course. But a jade setting with tourmalines and rubies. It's quite lovely. Were you looking to sell it?
No, I was hoping to find answers about it. I was given the impression that it would be something that one would recognize in this city.
He glances at it for a long moment. The symbology on it is rather familiar. I have seen something like this before. I will need to speak with Father and
Ooh,
check some of our
Daddy.
old logs.
Daddy
Would you be
issues.
willing to leave it here for 24 hours?
So long as I can have it back, yes.
Of course, it is yours. But in 24 hours, I might be able to have a decent bit more information on it.
Great. If you do find answers, before then or within the window, I do believe we'll be staying in either the Widow's Revenge or Deesbrook Estate.
Ah, very good. I will also clean it while we're here.
Thanks, brother.
Don't thank me, please. And he goes back to his work, and Mark just rolls his eyes. As you can see, he's every bit the charmer he was when you left.
Yeah, some things never change.
Unfortunately. Well, anyway, Ramiel, you said you're staying at the Widow's Revenge tonight.
Well, I'm not sure. I'd like to get the lay of the land here.
Well, I'd be happy to show you around the town.
Oh, would you?
Really lets out a loud sigh.
He glances over Braylon. I've just remembered I actually am busy this evening. And he hops up. Braylon, I believe my shift is over. Your shift's not over for another 3 hours. Gotta go. Bye. And he walks out the door. Braylon just sighs.
Did I just miss something?
Don't worry about it.
You're hot.
Just think about
cupcake.
a tall, dark, handsome elven back in wherever he is.
I'm so salty you beat me to that line.
It's too easy.
Well, I assume you'll be wanting to see Mom and Dad.
Yeah, where's Mom? She's not too concerned about Dad right now.
She's upstairs taking care of Father. Oh,
Taking care of him.
he's been ill as of late. That's why Mark and I have been running the shop.
What happened?
He was stricken with a fever a few days ago, a few months ago.
Months?
And he's
That's
well,
the difference.
while he is recovering, it has been a slow recovery.
Oh, what? Why didn't you send word?
Bluntly, we sent word to Scarlet's Deep and you weren't there.
Oops. Oh, well, thanks for sending word. I'm sorry I wasn't there.
You can tell Father.
Okay.
Go ahead, and he opens the way to go to the back door, which leads upstairs to your actual home.
We will leave you space for your family. If you wish it.
Yeah, just give me a moment with them.
Of course.
Especially because my dad's sick and, you know.
Yeah. Okay, you make your way up these back stairs to your home. It is much as you remember it. It is again, for being an upstairs, effectively apartment, it's actually quite spacious given the size of the store beneath it. It has a living room and a small kitchen area and 3 bedrooms in it, which was okay. You did have to share with Mark, which, again, you think he probably enjoyed more than you did. But, Braylon got his own room, of course. As you head upstairs, you open the door, and your mother is in the kitchen, and she turns her head back. Mark, if you're skipping out on your shift... Brayley!
Ma.
She hurries over and gives you just the biggest hug.
Oh. Brayleigh's loving it. Brayleigh loves her mom.
Yep. She gives you a huge hug, and then looks you over to make sure that you're okay. Oh, you're filthy, dear. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
She does a thing of, licking her thumb and, wiping dirt off. You're like, okay, that's gross.
Puck, runs off. He's just not he likes his dirt.
Yeah. I had no idea you were going to be in town.
It was a surprise to me, too.
We tried to reach you in Scarlet's Deep. They said that you had left.
Yeah, I kind of got involved in some stuff, and you know how it is.
Well, please, let me make us some tea. You have to tell me every detail. I want to hear all about it. And she goes over and starts making a pot of tea and then sits down across from you and crosses her legs. Please, I need to hear everything.
Do you really want to know everything, Mom? Because
I'm
still
I only sit here
processing.
worrying myself to death every single night because I don't wonder what's happening to you.
Well, I found some new friends.
You made friends.
I mean, I had friends before that too, but yeah. They're actually downstairs.
They have to come to dinner.
Oh, God.
I'll ask them and see what they're about. Some of them might not be too into that scene, but we'll see.
Okay, well, you can tell them that I'm making stuffed cabbage.
Fuck. Brayleigh loves stuffed cabbage. Because Liz does, for sure.
So does Callie, because her mom made great stuffed cabbage.
I never had stuffed cabbage.
It's delicious. I love stuffed cabbage.
Okay.
So I'm making stuffed cabbage tonight. They definitely, they will be missing. I also made pie.
What kind?
We're having rhubarb.
Okay. What else are we having, Mom?
I've also made a wonderful salad.
Kelly, I
Okay.
swear to God, if you say a hot dish or a casserole.
I was about to say mashed potatoes.
Brayleigh's really excited. She's like,
You picked a great day to return, apparently.
yeah. Did you know I was coming, Ma?
I had no idea, but
I think you did.
Clearly.
I always knew you had something.
Well, clearly
Yeah,
Flora and Fauna have guided me well this evening.
Yeah, they have. Paul, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little rough lately. So
Oh,
I'm glad
no.
to be home for a little bit.
Tell me about it, please.
I don't know if you want to know.
You're my daughter.
Why don't you tell me about...
Brayliana, you are my daughter. I want to know everything about you. Yeah, she called you by the first and middle name. That's rough.
Well, Ma, there was some conflict in the forest on the way here. I'm not gonna lie. But
That's
I
right.
heard that Dad was sick.
He, yes, he fell ill a few months back. It was quite serious, but fortunately, the doctors here, being what they are, they've managed to help him recover from the worst of it. He still hasn't gotten his strength back, so he is not able to return to the shop yet. But Mark has actually stepped up quite a bit in running the shop.
Oh,
And Braylon, she gets a look on her face. Braylon is Braylon. While you are well aware that Braylon is Daddy's favorite, Mother has something of a different take on her oldest.
oh. Well, have we heard? Braylon knows what's up. Have we heard anything about Demetrius? How is he doing?
Last we heard, he's doing quite well. His studies are proceeding apace in Stone's Throw. He is looking at the School of Illusion, actually.
Oh.
Yes. But I'm so sorry that you had difficulty in the forest. I am glad you're back, though. I have fantastic news.
What?
I have just recently, with your father being under the weather as he is, it's been my responsibility to run some of the affairs of the household, and I'm happy to say that I have found a young man who is quite interested in having your hand.
That's out of character laugh. Let me process this. Brayley is shocked. Well, she's not surprised,
So I
but
would say
she's
yes and no. You're surprised. For anyone who's wealthy in this city, an arranged marriage is not at all surprising. Your family's more middle class, though. It would be surprising that she was able to arrange a marriage for you. Not to say there's anything wrong with you, just that you're not nobility. So normally that wouldn't be something that would happen for you.
Ma, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What are you saying?
Well, it just so happens that the other day, the madame of the Arkwright family was in here and was shopping through. I was working the floor that day, and as we got to discussing some of our similar tastes in both jewelry and she kind of thinks about it from a literature. We happened upon a discussion that her eldest son is, his wife or his wife to be, unfortunately, she passed, unfortunately,
So
leaving
I'm
them.
like, I'm second choice.
Understand, of course, Brayley, in normal circumstances, he wouldn't have chosen anyway.
I gotcha.
But that said, Kelsifer Arkwright is a outstanding young man. You don't need a history check to know who Kelsifer Arkwright is. The Arkwright family is legendary in this city for their abilities with magic. They are known for creating powerful magic items, for enchanting, and for their proficiencies in combat. And Kelsifer Arkwright is the heir to that family. He is... To call him rich is laughable. The idea that you would be betrothed to him is shocking. And, sorry, I will put the spelling in there.
That's a sick name. Out of character.
Gosh.
Kelsifer Arkwright.
Damn.
How you feel about the arranged marriage trope of romance stories?
Not crazy about them.
I I used to be, and not anymore.
Braylee's shocked because like her mom's obviously she wants her to be married and have kids, but Braylee's just like that's not really top of mind for her.
And to be clear, I don't think it's even so much about the having kids. That's not a huge deal in Elven society. But she does want you married and financially secure and taken care of.
God damn.
In that way, she is 100% the overbearing mother.
You legit just said something my mom said to me recently.
Oh no!
All right, D&D is therapy. Here we go.
No!
Oh, Braylee's just gonna sigh, just like that sounds like a really surprising match, Mom. I have a lot going on right now with my business.
You've started a business.
I mean, it's not like a business. It's just business I'm taking care of, for the greater good.
Darkflux has awarded everyone an inspiration.
Aw, thank you, Darkflux.
Well, of course, and I don't want to step on your toes. Would you at least meet him?
Out of respect for you and the match, I will meet him.
Excellent. He'll be here for dinner with us tonight.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
With everyone here. Okay,
well, it is important, of course, if he's going to be right for you, he's going to have to be right for your friends.
What does Mark think of him?
I would have you ask that, actually. You know how Mark is. He won't share his opinions with me on anything, which is surprising to you because Mark shares his opinions on everything all the time, whether or not you asked.
Yeah. Okay. I guess
if it helps, there we go. If it helps, Braylon thinks he's too good for you.
Oh well, Braylon can keep his opinion to himself.
That is what I told him. She smiles at you.
Okay. Well, should I go see Dad now, or is he like?
I'm sure he would very much like to see you.
Okay.
She motions towards your parents' bedroom, and indeed, as you open the door, he is there, sitting up in bed. He's leaning up against the headboard, and he smiles as you come in. I thought I recognized that voice.
Hey, Father.
Hello, Braylee.
Oh, I heard you've been sick. I hope you're feeling better.
Better than I was. I assure you I'll be back to my normal self and back downstairs in no time.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm sorry I didn't come sooner.
No, you're not. But I understand.
Sucks.
Damn, family time. Out of character.
Woof.
Listen, he knows what his daughter's about, and he knows they don't get along very well. But I do appreciate you coming. It is good to see you.
It's good to see you too. What do you think about this? Well, I'm happy everything's going well except for your health. I hope you feel better. She's like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And she's rambling. So Mom says she made me a match.
She did, yes. Well, he looks at you. If I said I liked him, would that increase your interest in him or decrease it?
I don't think it would affect my opinion because I don't at all. Sorry.
Fair. He is, by all accounts, a bright and ambitious young man and a good heart. I would be proud to have you marry him.
Does he like mushrooms?
I'll be honest with you, the time that I met him, he did not say one way or another whether he liked mushrooms.
Okay, I guess we'll find that out.
It's fair. Good to know that some things have not changed.
Yeah.
When you go downstairs, will you do me a favor and tell Mark to stop slacking off. I'm not sure if he is or not, but I am sure if he is.
You know, he looked like he was working real hard.
Somehow, I don't believe you.
Okay, well, I'm glad to see you're on the mend. Are you gonna be at dinner? Or
I will endeavor to be, if I am feeling well.
okay.
Brayley.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of courage to tell your parents that you don't want to follow the path that they've set for you. I know we don't get along particularly well, but I am proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
I hope to see you at dinner.
Yeah, I'll see you there. She's like, trying not to cry.
As you leave, your mother nods. He's been a little different ever since the illness. Something about having your mortality flashed in front of your face, I think.
Oh, maybe it's a good change.
I would say so. But, yes, please. I hope your friends will all be able to come. They are all invited.
Okay, I'll ask them, but we'll see what they say.
Of course. And she hugs you very tightly. Oh, it is so good seeing you. Dinner will be at sunset.
All right.
I'll see you then.
Love ya.
Meanwhile, downstairs, you are all just kind of browsing around waiting for her to return, and Braylon has like that uncomfortable silence of like, I don't know you people. But he whenever Kelly makes a mom character, it's just your mom.
I don't know.
Listen,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
The slight like sarcasm and the slight like kind of nosiness and kind of like I got you, girl, kind of
Oh
thing.
my god.
Listen, it sounds like she's just drawing on the best example she has.
It's just really funny to me.
I mean, look.
The sarcasm,
one of the things that made it very
especially.
easy to fall in love and be with Sarah was how quickly her family accepted me. So
Yeah. My mother just has a particular brand of sarcasm that like you
Sue and I
always
jive
put
so well.
in here.
Sue and I have a very similar sense of sarcasm.
Yeah.
But yes, you all are standing downstairs when Braylon looks up. So, do you all serve with Brayley then?
Yes, we all work together. She is very good at turning into bears.
He just like looks at you with his mouth open for a minute.
Did you not know she could turn into bears?
Are you fooling me, or she can actually turn into a bear?
I mean, she has done so a few times.
As
What
well,
mushrooms
she's
is
on a couple
she
people.
eating?
Honestly, she does not tell us the type of mushroom. She just simply eats them or collects them. She
Right.
really likes mushrooms.
Some things
Stop
never
asking.
change. Okay. Wait. So then she's not still just studying abroad?
And I was like, oops. I think it is better if she explains. But we have a common purpose, you could say.
I see. Very well. Ayla, this was the piece I had in mind for you. Now that Brayley's gone, and she holds up, or he rather brings up a necklace. It's a small, thin golden chain, and the pendant in the center of it is two angel wings going out in either direction.
So it's like a necklace, or
Yes, it's like a pendant necklace.
okay. I think she'll just kind of smirk and go, "It's a little on the nose, don't you think?"
Well, where's Mark when I need him? He would say, and you see him like think about it, and then he like changes his stance to look like Mark.
God.
He would say, "Darling, if you got it, flaunt it."
I bet he said that once as a joke.
He gives you a look. You would hope so.
Nova is actually interested in the jewelry because they have never seen so much jewelry in one place that they were allowed to have access to.
Noticing this, he moves over. Is there particular pieces that interest you? A specific stone you like?
I think Nova looks almost a little embarrassed. I am not familiar with so many stones. Perhaps
A beautiful woman like you, I would think you've had plenty of jewelry.
Thank you, but not all of us are so lucky, I'm afraid. Always looking from the other side.
Oh. He gives a look like he's heartbroken. Of course. Well, allow me to walk you through a number of things. Now, this is one that might match your eyes absolutely perfectly. And he takes you through, indeed, a number of different stones. And he has a lot of good sales techniques. He is very well trained at this. And indeed, you have no doubt he will make a great owner of this store one day.
Yeah.
But he also tries a little too hard. But it can be almost endearing.
Yeah.
But he does. He spends some time taking you through different stones and different metals and which ones would go better with your skin tone. And
Yeah. And I think at the end of it, she goes, well, Braley keeps the purse, so.
He raises his eyebrows at that. Oh, so you're all stupid.
Actually, isn't it Layla that keeps the purse?
Yes, I've been doing
Sorry.
treasure.
Oh, well, that seems much wiser.
Yeah.
And the entire time she's just wandering around giving major just browsing vibes. This is the eternal window shopper.
Yeah. And he does not pay you a whole lot of attention. Eventually, Braley, you come back downstairs and see that your brother is indeed definitely trying to sell to Nova.
Raylan!
What? Oh my
Just
gosh.
gonna
Okay.
hone in.
Apologies.
These are my friends.
And they're lovely.
They're not.
It was my fault, Braley. I am not used to seeing such jewelry on display.
Well, definitely admire them, but don't let him swindle you.
I would never.
I'm sure.
Braley, if I may voice my opinion, I think Canis's recommendation of your family shop certainly lives up to the high praises he gave it.
Happy to hear it. I hope my brothers didn't swindle him.
No, but I think the first time around I was here, yes, he
It's called
did.
making a sale.
Yeah, it's called doing my job. Thank you.
So, is all right?
My pa's on the mend. My mother has invited you all to dinner if you would like. Apparently, Brayleigh's a little stressed. Apparently, my mom has made a match. Braylon?
Yes, Lord
Why didn't you
Arkwright's son.
warn me?
Oh.
And let you not get to have the shock? Of course not.
Do you want to be in this match, or do you need an excuse?
I don't really have many thoughts on marriage at the moment.
I feel like Ayla's over in the corner, just
Yes,
1,000-yard stare.
I was gonna say, as soon as that has come up, especially when Nova asks that, Layla has laser snap focused. But that's not the question. How
I
do you
mean-
feel about this person?
I don't even know him.
Well, you have to date him first. You cannot simply be married immediately.
Braylon looks at you. Why?
That is stupid. What if he's not good in bed?
What if?
Fair point.
What if?
Or anything
Brady...
else, really.
Yes, there's many reasons that you wouldn't want to simply rush into such an arrangement.
Or what if he's terrible at keeping up the house?
What if he doesn't like mushrooms?
What if he doesn't like mushrooms? These are important things. So
Yeah.
now,
What if
Like Braylee doesn't really know. She's like, whatever about the whatever. It's just the mushrooms
Forget all
part.
that
If
stuff.
he's not about that, it's like
It's
no.
What if he's not the one for Brady?
Uh,
That's not up
How do you
to-
know if someone's the one?
And Ramiel has like the softest smile, and as he
as he thinks about Orion
You better
I feel
fucking
like-
be.
and Mark.
I feel like Ayla kind of like snaps out of her 1,000-yard stare. Wait, you
when
get the choice in
find
this?
The ones.
wait,
He'll got
Braylon-
2 hands. He can hold 2.
Braylon looks over at Ayla. Well, I mean, obviously, if Braylee doesn't want to marry him, she could just leave. So, yeah, she has a choice.
Does she though? I feel like a lot of her choices were taken from her in her absence.
Oh, I mean, I would say that she has gotten to live the life that she has wanted to live far more so than she did when she was here. I have to hear
So-
about it from Mark every day.
So this is what her reward, so to speak, to be shackled to someone she doesn't even know.
Don't look at me. I didn't set them up. I think he's too good for her.
I don't think he is the one you would understand. But regardless, this is Brady's family, and we are guests. But, Brady, what do you need from us during this time of need?
Well, I know we all have a job to do. Wink, wink. She hasn't thought of a code name yet. Or maybe I did. And she forgot.
Touchdown.
Well, no, we
that's
can't
the-
say
that was
that
the
one.
actual-
That's the actual
That's
code
the
name.
actual
You don't want to say
one.
that one.
No, that's
I have to at least respect my parents enough to meet the man before I reject him. You guys are welcome to dinner, which
Well,
is
that's
We'll be there for emotional support and
You
moral
don't
and
have
emotional
to.
support.
she's gonna
Brady.
emphasize you don't have to, but my mom is making stuffed cabbage, so that could be enough reason.
Really. And Ramiel puts a hand on her shoulder. You are a wonderful woman who
I
deserves.
am.
Yes. Why do you think I recruited you, or at least that made an attempt at recruiting you? Don't really know if any of you actually took me up on that. Anyway, you've more than proven yourself capable. You are a refreshing breeze of sorts. Amidst the
Okay.
party. You and Layla both, honestly, between the two of you, I swear, Ayla cracked a smile at some point, a genuine smile. But regardless, you are someone who deserves to live the life that they want, not one that was chosen for them. And if you need us there to help in any manner, shape, or form, we'll be there. Just give us a word, a code word, as you're quite fond of doing.
Okay.
If he needs to die, he needs to die. I'm just kidding.
You joke, but that's what Ayla's been thinking the whole time.
Hey, I'm the murder hobo over here.
We'll suss it out because we have a job to do, and I know that's top prior.
Well,
be
right
fair-
now, you are our top priority.
To be fair, we cannot continue our job until tomorrow. So for tonight,
Rayleigh's definitely thinking about if this suitor could help us out. She will leverage if he can.
So,
I was quite serious about that code word. Just make something up. And we'll take that as our cue to do what we can for you.
You can just call it the safe word, Ramiel.
Do I want to call it that?
yes. What's the safe word?
Why have I?
Someday you will set one up with Orion, I am sure.
Mushcap.
Mushcap?
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Mushcap.
Do you talk about mushcaps just for fun?
Have you met Brayley?
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about. What if she is simply talking about the mushcaps and then we go, oh shit, get your weapons out? That wouldn't be good.
She just says that and one of us just scoops her up as we all go into battle mode and puts the wall down.
I mean, if that is the word, that is the word. I am just simply worried and thinking
Mushcap.
ahead time. But mushcap it is. Okay, very well. Very good.
So you all spend a few hours walking around the city and just getting the lay of the land. And it is interesting as you walk around that there really are two vastly different cultures here. There is the elven culture of Mitra Scaleth, and then there is just this melting pot of culture that is down in the docks area where all these ships have, at one time, they were just ships floating in the harbor, but they have been had bridges built between them and other supports to steady them, so much so that now it is like walking on a city on the water. And it's interesting. There is certainly more of an almost red light district feeling to this kind of docks area because they're not officially in the jurisdiction of Mitra Scaleth. They don't actually have to follow the laws of Mitra Scaleth. So it is a little bit more unchecked, let's say. I'll put it this way. Brayley wouldn't have any hard time finding her special mushrooms down there. They would be for sale. But at sunset, you all return to the shop, which has closed up for the day. And you all make your way upstairs where Mama Brayley has set up a extra end to the table with some more seats so that you all can fit around the table. And as you all come in, she gives each of you a hug immediately, treating you like she's known you for 1,000 years, and smiling as she introduces herself. Hello, I am Misaka. You can call me Mrs. Tourmaline or whatever you prefer, really.
Thank you for the invitation.
Of course.
Mr. Malik.
It is so very nice to meet all of you. Brayley has told me so little about you all.
Yes, well, perhaps some fun can be had. Yes, I heard you make excellent stuffed cabbage.
Well, thank you. I hope you find it to your liking.
I'm certain I will. Nova eats anything.
You can almost feel someone roll their eyes at you, Nova.
What?
You indeed are all welcomed into this home. Braylon is in the kitchen helping prep work, and Mark is already sitting at the table. He has a drink in front of him, and he looks up. Oh, and here they all are once again. Welcome, welcome. Please come in, everyone. Welcome to my little slice of heaven. And Mrs. Tourmaline glanced at him like, Mark, dear, why don't you go mind the shop? We're closed. Well, then it should be right up your alley.
Ooh.
He just gives a look. I know when I'm being asked to be quiet.
Everyone have a drink.
Yes. Braylon brings out a drink for everybody. That you have. It is a kind. It would be a rum. Here. Definitely like a middle shelf rum. Quite good. And Kelsifer will be arriving in a little bit.
Well, we best be all on our best behavior.
Oh, I mean, he is from a quite a well-to-do family, but as I understand it, he's, I'll put it this way, I thought he would be a good fit for Brayley.
Ayla, you need to behave yourself, especially. I know how rowdy you get.
Oh, I'm the one that gets rowdy. What was it that happened the last time we were both in a bar together?
What are you talking about? That started without me. That was someone else who
did
threw
it?
that punch. Someone else threw that punch. That wasn't me.
Was this before or after the other one?
You'll have to be more specific. There have been many.
and-
I'd love to be more specific, but I have
I get a hot
very hazy memory of
Oh,
something.
and you must be Ramiel. Mark was telling me about you earlier. You are as skinny as he said. Please, let me get you something to eat before we have dinner.
Did he call him a skinny bitch? What the fuck?
He
That's
said he was
Ram
scrawny. Ram. Oh, that's such a lovely nickname. And Mark looks up. I would agree.
Oh boy.
Very evocative.
Ramiel, you are brought over you're brought over a bowl of thinly sliced potato skins and a mixture of sour cream and onion powder.
Sick. It's chips and dip.
Yeah. Well,
Let's go.
It's a Midwest family, so you are gonna have chips and dip. I
Fucking
mean.
hell.
And Ramiel just gives his best lowest bow, most polite bow.
Oh, and he's so polite too.
Well, I also
Brayley's gonna give him the
was
eyes
not
like,
raised in a barn.
Mark, you could learn a thing from this one. And Mark looks up. I would very much like to.
Hey,
Yeah, Mrs. Tourmaline is like, as I said, downstairs, and he gets up and leaves.
I can't help but feel like I'm missing something here. Did I do something to?
Oh,
He'd be
you dear
teaching
sweet
more than he
boy.
learned.
I'll tell you when you're older.
you just need to settle it down, Ram. I don't know what you got going on, but
It is about a half hour later, just as dinner is nearly prepared, that Mark does return with someone else in tow. The man who enters after is in his early 20s. He has blonde hair that is tied back into a ponytail and quite a handsome face. His eyes are the irises of his eyes are pink, which is a color that you've never seen on an elf before. He's not incredibly tall, but he's probably, for an elf, I would say he's a little shorter, probably 5'10".
Wow.
And he is dressed wearing a military garb. He has a pair of black slacks on with a white button-down shirt and a blue coat over that has a patch on the breast and a medal on the left side, or on the left arm. And he looks incredibly nervous as he enters. Hello. Oh, you must be Kelsifer. Please do come in. And he nods. Yes, Lord Kelsifer Arkwright. Very wonderful to make everyone's acquaintance. And he gives a nervous bow.
Welcome. This is not my own, but welcome.
I feel like Ayla rolls her eyes so hard they look like they might get stuck.
Ayla, what did I say? Be polite.
Stepping in, he approaches you, Brayley, and seems to clear his throat and straighten himself out a little bit. And you must be Brayley.
yeah, that's me. Hi.
If
She's gonna offer him a-
he does take your hand and plants a kiss on the back of the palm, very politely as he bows. I hoped it wouldn't be too forward if I might bring you a gift. Your brothers have told me a great deal about you, and I wanted to find something that would be personable to you.
Oh no.
Okay.
He reaches down into his pack, drawing up a small. It's made of tin. The base of it is with a deep black soil in it and a number of golden mushrooms growing out of the top of it.
Let's go!
You would recognize these Brayley as chanterelles. They are a very rare and very expensive mushroom, usually used in cooking. But
Are they a little psychedelic?
they are, I would say, very lightly psychedelic. They are used sparingly in cooking, although supposedly when you cook them, the psychedelic nature of them cooks out of it. But it is believed that much like cooking with wine, it can still enhance the flavor, and maybe some of it will be left around.
Oh, God. Braley loves good gifts.
And yeah, he nods. I was informed that you are an enthusiast when it comes to the collection of morels, and I was able to find something that I was assured would be suitable.
She's definitely really excited about the gift. You did your research.
Oh, if I'm honest with you, it was your brother Mark who told me quite a bit about you and what might be interesting to you.
Oh, so he told you about this particular
He told you that you
mushroom?
were fascinated. No, not by this particular one, just that you had a fascination with mushrooms, and then I looked into what might be fitting.
He did his research.
Ramiel gives an approving nod.
He nods. I understand that we're having stuffed cabbage, and that is one of my favorites, so if we don't mind sitting down to eat, I'd be thrilled. I haven't eaten all day today.
Oh, of course. Sit on down.
And you all do. You sit down around the table. Your father does join you after a little while. He has gotten himself dressed and looking proper. You know immediately, Brayley, this is not how he would normally look. Normally, when I say he would look proper, he would be to the nines, properly dressed. He would be completely clean shaven. His hair would be freshly done. Like, he would look perfect. He looks acceptable. And that stands out, I think, to you. But he comes out and joins as well and introduces himself as Brandon Tourmaline. And gives a special greeting to Kelsifer, who's joining as well. And dinner is served. And, well, Brayley, I'll let you tell the party. How is it?
How's the food?
How's your mom's cooking?
Amazing. She blew it out of the park. Obviously huge. She's got a huge container full of stuffed cabbage that's steaming. It has like some bits of tomatoes and rice. You can smell different spices coming from it. And then she's got there's always like a lot of apps.
And
a lot of stuff to eat inside.
The food is outstanding. And for those of you who are used to family dinners, Layla, I would say in particular, this reminds you of a family dinner at home. They bicker, they argue, but it's always from a place of love deep down. They are friendly, and it's pleasant. Ayla, it's not like family dinner in your home at all. Those were very quiet and very unpleasant. This is loud, but not loud in a bad way. It's loud in a good way. It's a lot like how Callie felt the first time she visited the Scales household for dinner.
I knew it!
And she was like, wow, everyone is so loud while we're eating,
I
not
feel
dead
like
silent.
who turned on the TV? Am I watching a sitcom before me?
Yeah.
God.
That's what the Scale Center is like.
Yeah. But it's very pleasant. And Kelsifer is also quite polite, as he seems to just enjoy listening to the conversation and hearing and getting to know people. He does ask you all a little bit about yourselves. Ayla, he's, of course, interested in a ASMR, and he nods. If you'll forgive me for asking. You're an ASMR. I have only gotten to meet one before. They were born to orc parents. Are you as well?
I'm surprised you've met another one, to be honest, but tiefling.
Tiefling, interesting. I merely asked because you look so much alike in appearance. I wondered if the parentage had anything to do with the appearance. Fascinating. How have you found people's acceptance of you?
Felt like that, good bit of confusion, but otherwise.
I suppose that was rude of me. It must get tiring to have to explain who and what you are to everybody.
I'm used to it by this point.
Well, accept my apologies nonetheless, please. It was rude.
She'll just nod and accept his apologies.
He smiles gratefully. And Braley, you, I understand you spent some time in Scarlet Steep before you left there.
Yeah.
Did you have a particular interest in Scarlet Steep, or were you there for the flora?
You know, a little bit of everything. She doesn't want to get too like. Sorry, I figure I was having a thing.
It fit,
Yeah.
yeah. It's not super loud, but just loud enough.
They're like, oh, okay, yeah, I heard that.
Really doesn't like to get too like political in front of her family.
Of course.
You know, just like you know, just seeing the world really.
He nods at that. Is that
What
what
are
you
you-
is that what you aspire to do? Do you wish to see the world?
Oh yeah. How about you?
I am what's the position called? I am a. It's not vice captain. What's the secondary in command?
First mate?
I mean, on a pirate. Yeah, I guess it would be a first mate, but they would use the military rank for it.
Second in command.
Yeah. What's okay? Sorry, what's that?
Commander.
Command.
I think it goes captain commander.
EXO. That's what I was thinking of. I'm yes, thank you, Omega Walta. I'm an executive officer aboard a ship in.
EXO Presley has the deck.
Exactly. I'm an executive officer aboard. Sorry, I gotta check my notes again. I'm an executive officer aboard the Diamond Sky, a ship in Azur's remembrance. Yes, I
Spit
joined-
take.
I joined the military on my 16th birthday, and I have been, pursuing my career there ever since.
What drove you to the military?
Bluntly speaking, I believe that my entire life so far has been lived in war, and I would rather the rest of it not be.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Bradley, would you, I need to get some air. Would you perhaps show me outside?
She's super reluctant. Yeah, okay. I'll show you
I was
outside.
gonna say you could.
She's gonna
with you.
before she leaves though, she's gonna shovel some stuffed cabbage into her mouth because it's so much better when it's warm than when it's cold, and she knows that.
Yeah, you're able to. He would let you finish your plate first. He's not gonna make you do that. This is like after dinner talk.
Okay.
But he walks down with you and steps outside, and nods. Your family is lovely.
Oh, I'm glad you like them. I love them.
We have that in common, you and I.
He nods as he looks at you. I see why perhaps you chose to study in cities that are not Mitrascalith.
The world's so big.
That it is. That's the nice thing about being an officer in the Navy is you get to see so much of the world. That is what drew me to serve in the Navy as opposed to on land.
Yeah. So why do you want to get married? I don't want to just jump, but arranged stuff is so...
He almost, he spit takes, except he's not drinking anything. He's like...
Oh, we do with this.
Asking the real questions.
Yes, I suppose it's fair to get into that point, isn't it? Look, I know this is awkward. My mother informed me that I had been matched again just a few weeks ago.
This is a mom thing then, huh?
Yes.
I totally feel that. This is a mom thing for me too.
Yes, I'm aware that you probably would not have chosen this if you had to make a choice. I loved the woman that I was set to marry a lot. And the day she died, I swore I'd never love again because it hurts to lose people that you love like that. So when my mother said that she wanted to arrange someone for me to marry, I decided just find somebody that I don't have to be too close to. And she can do whatever she wants to do, and I'll do whatever I want to do, and we'll be fine. If that's something that works for you, please, then I'm fine to go forward with it. If it's not, you're very nice, and I'm sure you will find someone that you will love and make very, very happy. But, don't feel like you are obligated to do this.
Well, if you need to stave off your ma, you can just tell her that things are going good with us. But I don't really know what love is like. And I'm glad that you had found it. I'm sorry that you lost it. But I would like a chance to maybe explore that.
He nods.
So I think you're a nice guy, but I just don't... You can tell your mom whatever you want, but...
Perhaps we can set a date a few years down the line.
Sure, go. Yeah.
Thank you for understanding, Braley.
Of course. I know moms. They want the best for us. They don't see our... Sometimes they just don't see how we see.
And in our case, they have a similar taste in lusty fiction.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I do want to ask your opinion, though, on something, because I haven't been home for a minute.
Of course.
Out of character. Callie, remind me what Admiral
Denerin.
We can never get this name right.
Denerin.
Admiral Denerin.
Okay. And he's on the blood price?
The blood price.
Okay. Do you know anything about Admiral Denerin and the blood price? Like,
I do, yes. Admiral Denerin is the leader of Azur's Remembrance, and the blood price is his headquarters. It is in the center of the port in the bay.
Is he nice?
There are many words that have been used to describe Admiral Denerin. I'm not certain that nice would be one of them, no. He is pragmatic, is the word I would use to describe the Admiral. My captain is one of his council of 5.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay. I have some business with him. Do
I see.
you have any like tips? She's gonna like wink wink.
Yes, I do. If you are trying to convince the admiral of something, the best way to do so is to approach his council of 5. They are his advisors, and he listens to them quite a bit. If you have them on your side, you'll have a much easier time.
So how would I get them on my side?
The best way is to know what it is that interests them. Strike up a conversation with them. At least one of them I could certainly put you in contact with. Call it a wedding present.
We'll call it an engagement gift.
Sorry, that's what he meant to say. Yeah, an engagement gift. He's kind of offering kind of a wry smile at that.
All right, I'd be happy to receive it.
Then I will put you in charge or in contact with Captain Shigrash Blackeye. She is the leader of or the captain of the Diamond Sky.
That sounds lovely.
She is a similarly pragmatic woman, though I would say her ambitions are to not stay here any longer. She wants to return to fighting. So if you're looking to get her on her side, that would probably be the route I would go.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
He nods.
Well,
You're looking to seek an alliance with Azure's Remembrance, then?
that business is mine if you appreciate she's like tongue-tied. She was trying to be smooth, but it's falling apart.
He is very handsome.
But he also got a broken heart.
He does. He does. He is dealing with that.
Which oddly doesn't have any sort of effect on that.
On how handsome he is? No. No, he is very pretty.
Braylee's definitely noted, but he's a stranger, so.
No,
Yep.
that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't progressed through the social link
Nope,
far
he
enough.
hasn't. Well, if apologies for prying. The other captains that you'll be looking to make good with are Captain Canis Mistal.
Canis?
Yes. Captain Luca of the Scarlet, Captain Dominic of the Azure, and Captain Lillian Akanai. Those are his council of 5.
Okay. Do they all hang out in one spot?
Well, they're all down in the ports, usually aboard their ships, which the DM hasn't named yet, so don't ask them.
Okay, I won't.
Classified information.
These are
Oh,
the
she's definitely
5...
hung up on the Canis.
Yes.
This Canis, he's not like crazy handsome, is he?
Oh no.
Well, men are not my particular flavor, but I would say he's never had any complaints about his looks.
Braylee's definitely in the Orion, like she's waving that flag. She's on that team, so she's like, oh. Okay, thank you so much for your info, and I appreciate you coming to dinner with my family. I know it can't have been easy.
I actually quite like your family.
Well, if we're engaged, then you can come meet with them whenever you want if you need a minute, just to get out.
That would actually be quite nice. My family can be insufferable.
I understand.
Braylee, I hope it wouldn't be too forward to say that while this is something of a sham engagement, I would like to speak again.
Okay. As long as mushrooms are involved.
I hope
Is it,
you'll
like,
forgive me.
imbibing in them, or
I hope you'll forgive me. I know next to nothing about mushrooms, but I would love to learn.
Oh, okay.
Then next time we meet, I will bring a notebook and charcoal, and I will be sure to take notes. It has been
Perfect.
some time since I have had a chance to sit and advance my education.
Well, we will expand it in the mushroom department.
He smiles. I look forward to it. Now come in. Let's go inside and have some rhubarb pie. I understand it's delightful.
It is. And Braylee's definitely going to shuffle really quick back in there.
As you two come back upstairs, both Mark and your mom both give you a look.
Braylee's just not going to meet their eyes.
So you all enjoy dinner, and more conversation is had. Again, it's pleasant. It's just interesting. Her family is a lot. That night, you make your way to the Widow's Revenge afterwards. When it's over, Kelsifer gives a very polite bow and says that he looks forward to being able to call upon you again, and we'll reach out to cement the details of when your nuptials will be happening, and gives you a little wink as he does.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. And then he heads off, and you make your way down to the Widow's Revenge. It is...
Layla will probably go to the... Well, because Layla, you're going to go back
Layla will head back to...
When you want to, like...
You'll head back, and we will be doing a scene next time with Layla and Felicia there. However, there is one thing I do want to close on as you all head to the Widow's Revenge tonight. It is a 3-story building, just like the one in Mina's Grove is. And the downstairs is similarly rowdy and high energy as you enter in and are able to get rooms. Also similar to Mina's Grove, it is also very advanced for an inn of the time. There is running water in each of the rooms, which is unique, not something that you're all used to seeing. And especially because there is a secondary faucet in each of them that seems to produce hot water, which is also something you've
Which witchcraft is this?
Kind of. Like, there is a moment of like, oh, they must be doing this with magic. And you all are able to get settled down for the night, and we will have time next time for you all to do some role play. But as the night settles in, where's my music? Ayla, you awaken in the night. You're not sure what time it is. It's so dark in this room. It is pitch black. Even with dark vision, you aren't able to see much of anything. All you see in the in the dark corners of the room, you're not even sure what awakened you, and all you see though are 2 lavender eyes glowing in the dark. And you hear a very familiar voice. Good evening, Ayla. I was feeling, how you say, a little lonely.
Gonna kind of blink. What time is it?
Not so late that we can't have any fun. Not so early that we won't have time.
That is incredibly non-specific.
You can hear her smiling as she speaks.
Oh my god.
Maybe it was just seeing the burgeoning of young love, or maybe it was the way that Mark looked upon Ramiel, but it reminded me that it has been so long for myself. You feel a pressure on the end of the bed as someone starts to crawl onto it.
He'll sit up.
Before another moment has passed, you can feel hot breath near you as those glowing eyes seem to gaze into yours. A hand comes up and strokes your cheek. You can tell she's waiting for permission.
And I can still only see eyes, right?
All you see is, I mean, I would say as your eyes have started to adjust a little bit, you can make the vaguest outline of her form.
Yeah, I think Ayla will just nod. Why not? She'll go for it.
You feel lips on your neck as you are pushed down to your back. Nova.
Yeah.
You spend the night in your room and it is oddly quiet for you.
Huh. What?
More quiet than it's been for a long, long time in your head.
Is that so? Huh.
And that's where we'll wrap up for tonight.